Now in 2007, with Doctor Who riding high once again, ITV have come up with a more convincing rival. Primeval is unashamed Saturday night populist drama for the masses, and it features something for all the family. There's dinosaurs for the kids, a couple of beefy hunks for mum, a barely legal girl for dad, and the occasional shot of a washing machine for your weird cousin who f***s washing machines. The story revolves around a go-getting bunch of scientists who've discovered a series of mysterious rifts in time which keep popping open, allowing prehistoric monsters into the present day. They're a bit like gatecrashers crawling through a hole in the wall at Glastonbury. Everyone in the team has a clearly defined role. There's Violet Berlin lookalike Abby, a sort of Powerpuff Girl version of Zoe Ball, whose job is to connect with the beasties on an emotional level, look a bit saucy, and lust after the boring hunk one. I don't like the boring hunk one, partly because he's a hunk and therefore the enemy, but mainly because his job seems to consist of being knocked unconscious every few minutes. Anyway, he's clearly only doing it to mess with the pretty one's head and thereby win her affections, and it bloody works, the sly little prick.
And I'll have coffee at your place later and stay for breakfast in the morning.
You bugger. The next gang member is Connor, who's the designated wacky one. He's supposed to be an archetypal nerd, although since the actor who plays him is clearly a bit too handsome for this, they've achieved the effect instead by giving him slightly greasy hair and a laptop obsession, and saddling him with some absurdly unrealistic fictional nerdy mates.
Lost it. Totally. That's the saddest thing I've seen since Matrix Revolutions.
Finally, there's Professor Nick Cutter, the explainy one, whose job is to go on and on about the anomaly.
The anomaly.
Thank you. His job is to explain those every few minutes.
The anomaly has a fixed point of origin.
Yes, all right.
The anomalies may be intermittent, and they fade from time to time, but they never completely disappear.
Yeah, thanks.
The anomalies are conclusive proof that the past exists. Thank you, Professor.
And when he's not doing that, he lets off steam by shouting, Helen!
Helen! Helen! Helen! Helen!
Where are you, Helen?
Helen's his dead wife, except she's not actually dead, she's just living in prehistoric times because she passed through one of the
The anomalies.
Can't we just call it a f***ing time hole? The show is resolutely action-packed. Every episode features furious, incoherent beasts rampaging across contemporary Britain. It's also often genuinely scary. There's an almost perverse emphasis on cosy domestic normality getting smashed to bits, something Doctor Who also does, but rarely to the same extent. Sometimes it's so scary even the cameraman wets himself. And even if you're not scared, you can't help but admire the special effects, which I think are some of the best I've ever seen in a British TV show. There's quite a cute love triangle going on as well. Wacky one's in love with the pretty one, who of course is in love with the hunky one, who's in love with lying around unconscious. This cutesy romance is precisely the sort of thing that would usually strike me as trite and rubbish, but here it's just kind of heartwarming. I don't know what's the matter with me, maybe I've just gone mad. It's not the best show ever made, there's a fair few clunky lines, and sometimes the camera work makes it look as though the whole thing's taking place on a gigantic merry-go-round. Nevertheless, Primeval's far better than I thought it would be. It's certainly far superior to Torchwood, for instance. It's just nice to see, and I'm sorry if that's a bland opinion. F*** you.